Previously on Take One.
I remember probably one of the ones that I really enjoyed was I made a video for my form class at the end of their year. That was the class just after they came back to school from the pandemic.
Yep.
So they were used to all my videos and all of this at this point. So I made them a special one, and I delivered it to all of my parents via the Google Classroom. And this is from me to all of you, going, this is your children's year. Right, here it is. And I loved that because it got to put across the joy, the enthusiasm, the happiness that was in these students and in their days, the stuff that as a parent, you don't get to see that because you're not there.
And that, I think that is the, again, a line in our perspectives is that was that, it wasn't just a video that said something that just recorded something. It was about that authenticity oozing through its content.
Yeah.
And that's what, again, that we do. So again, I can see even more why we aligned as soon as it was put to you, the idea.
Yeah. I always said if I can put in half as much as I was able to do with teaching, I'll do well. Because what I did in teaching, I did very well.
Yeah.
So if I can even be half of that, I should be able to get to a decent point somewhere in this new career.
Yeah.
And I want to enjoy that time a bit more at home. So let's focus on getting the qualification nailed and try and enjoy that home life a little bit more, because those are the bits that actually I'm valuing more and more. Mm. And so that's exactly what I did. I opted not to do the third year. Whereas we're going with that, we were on about Swindon College. So we were fortunate this year, and I was quite proud to be able to do it, to reach back to the college, who obviously helped me, and go, look, I know you've got people on the third year who need work experience. Can I have Charlie for a couple of days? Who's one of my friends, but also I trust her skill set. There is that element to me. If now I'm bringing them into what we do, I need it to be up to standard.
Well, yeah, because once we go action, you got to trust everybody.
I'm not bringing someone in to train them. No. That's not the point of what I'm doing. I'm bringing them in for work experience.
Hence, it's the third year, isn't it? Because it's not training them necessarily on the job. It's trusting them to do it.
Yeah. And
get practice and experience and all of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We managed to partner with them a couple of times for a couple of different things, which was lovely. And I enjoyed being able to sort of give that back a little bit. But yeah, also obviously being able to work with Charlie was fantastic for me. Yeah. As someone I implicitly trust with that, and knows my work style and workflow, and it works really well. But it
was great watching her growing confidence on the different times that she was with us. That was very visible. So that was really nice indeed. That second year, I had a meeting. I'm trying to remember now. It was either an event in there. I got a feeling it was actually a specific meeting with Darren Marks at the college. Great guy that sort of really championing the college and everything about it. And we'd met at an event previously, down Caution Way or something. And he said, let's get together. Went in, and it was always going to be meeting and giving me a tour of the studio facilities and everything.
Fantastic facility in there.
It really is.
They were fortunate to get some increased funding, and what they've done with it is spectacular. I mean, it really is. It's second to none equipment.
You get hands-on in the college now. I mean, it's that good. You've got a studio, you've got the sound studio.
Everything in there is professional quality. It is designed to be, if you come and do this with us, you walk out and you have used the kit that will be being used in the places you are working.
Yeah.
The editing studio is a fully kitted editing suite. The cameras are all up to standard. The audio equipment is all up to standard. It's brilliant what they've been able to do.
It really is. I mean, we're able to go and use their studio facilities if we wanted to as well. It is that good. And within that tour, I met Sam.
Yep.
And we had a great chat, and he was really enthralled by what I was creating here at Visual PR Productions, or Visual PR as it was originally, but then people kept thinking that we were a PR agency, so it's Visual PR Productions now.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, okay, that sounds really interesting. He said, I've got someone that might be of interest to you, i.e. you good self. but he said, but keep your blooming hands off until he finishes his course. I went, that's fine. I respect that. But I managed to convince him about a month before you were finishing, I think it was, to say, that's fine. He's now close enough that he is going to finish, but I do need to get these conversations going, because I needed a video editor and producer in house for a whole raft of things that has grown massively since then as well. And he put us in contact, and we got together. I think it was the first time it was just you and me, and we chatted about you as a person, this story that you've
pretty
been
much
on.
A lot of this conversation.
Exactly right. And we hit it off, and we were chatting for ages, to be honest with you. And I was just like, this is interesting. You were interested with what we were doing for reasons that, again, we found in this conversation, is that our principles aligned of what content you liked and what we were trying to create. I then got my wife Claire, who is co-owner of the business, to come in, so that there was that second set of eyes.
Yeah, very important.
And we both walked away and went, absolutely. Offered you the job that was 2 days a week to start with.
Yeah.
Because you were unsure at that point whether you were going to do the third year.
Exactly. Yeah. We were 2 days a week to start with.
That didn't last long, though.
No, it didn't. I made the decision not to do the third year, probably a few months in.
Before you even decided that, we had to take you to 3 days, because remember, we worked out that you needed 2 days a week for the course, so we could take you up to 3. Yeah. And that change was very quick.
I think that was within 2 months.
Easily, I would say easily, absolutely, which was brilliant. You know, it kind of was self-justifying then. Yeah. And up you went to the 3, and then suddenly it was like, right, actually I'm not great. I've got more of your time, and so it increased. And that really was the story of where we started and how we got you on board. And unbelievably, we were just saying this the other day, it's now a year that you've been here. I mean, that doesn't seem possible.
It's crazy. It's been a year. Yeah.
Other than the fact, we said this as well, is that other than the fact, when we think about how much has changed in those 12 months, I was in a small serviced office. Yep. Not that small, but we could have had 4 people in there allegedly, but it was definitely not a studio and all of that sort of stuff. So it was a working, functioning office that had the virtual online studio that we had branded to clients, that then developed that I invested in kit that we could now take a studio out. And that was great. You drove that. The content grew. What was possible grew, to now that we're obviously in this studio as well. And all of those are available still. And in fact, a hybrid of any of them as well.
Yep. Really proud of how we managed to implement the hybrid the first few times we did it. That was a real I feel a real feather in our cap for doing that.
Both guests the first 2 times were in Scotland from memory with National Southburn Renovation Centre. We were set up in their premises here in Swindon, and they had a guest, 2 episodes where they had the guest up in Scotland. And so, they're bought in remotely via the branded studio. We're set up in their premises. And it was opening up those possibilities. But I've always said that it was having your expertise and you in that role that has facilitated a lot of that growth, because suddenly it's like, well, actually, we can now go and do this. And, you know, we've kind of grown from this purely conversation-led stuff to feature videos that still has the conversation at the heart of it, with all the B-roll, and jazz it up for a 3-minute promotional video or whatever it is. And you're able to bring that together with both your shooting, sometimes your external people that we bring in as well, and your editing, your post-production work after. And would it be fair to say, though, that whilst we've grown as a business, I think that you've been able to grow and learn more? Because I kind of was suddenly go, Tom, any chance we might be, and you go, here we go again. And then you kind of go and work a way that we can do it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's going to be true with anyone when you find they're suddenly using those skills day to day. Whereas obviously before, and that was actually one of the things that having met with you and having discussed the job and how then it could still work with the 3rd year of the course at the time, and all of that. It was one of the things that was part of my decision to not go do that 3rd year, because I wanted to do producing and editing. And whilst there were a couple of really interesting units on that 3rd year that sort of spoke to that, Well, that was 2 units. And lots of the other bits it was a broad course. It was designed to give overviews in lots of different areas. And okay, but I've figured out where I want to narrow down to.
Yeah.
So what's going to be more valuable for me, going and doing that to get the piece of paper at the end, or getting myself a position where every work day is using those skills? The more I'm using them, the more those skills get more comfortable.
Yeah.
And then from there, I'm able to step up again and then again and again. So yeah, by being in here and working and producing and editing all of our content, it has allowed me to push myself further. And I remember one of the things we spoke, actually, it was either in that first interview or second interview. I can't remember which. But there was I'll paraphrase because I obviously don't remember it word for word, but one of the questions asked was something along the lines of, with your knowledge, one thing that, is important is, if you don't know something, do you know where to go and find out about it?
Exactly.
And I distinctly remember that. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But the reason I bring that up is it links with your comment there about how, as we've grown, I've been able to grow, which then allows us to grow more. So it might be, you do, oh, Tom, what about this? And I do, and I'll sit there and go, oh,
here we go again.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll figure it out.
But know where to go and look to find. Yeah,
that's it. It's then, okay, right. We can whatever it is, we can definitely do it. It's the thing. You see the stuff that gets made on films and TV these days. If people can do that, then I'm sure there's a way that we can figure out to do one of these things. Yeah. It's just a case of, right, how can we do it?
And one of the key things for this business model is that how can we do it streamlined, economically, things like that, because we are set up in a way that makes suddenly content affordable for people to do. Hence, I love the repurposing, because actually your development has not just been on the actual doing, so with the shooting, the producing, the editing afterwards, and the creativity of what we can do, which is great. We've suddenly got clips, and we've got, intros and outros, transitions, all of these kind of things that are around the core content of the business. Yeah. But are vital to make it pop. But there's also that organization, the process driven organization, that you're not just sat there going, right, Tom, crack on, keep video editing, keep producing, is that there is the whole processes. Now, one of the things that we introduced this year that has been big for the development of Visual PR Productions is automation.
Yep.
We're going to get another guest on at one of these episodes, Liam Barry, that we work together with, called The Hidden Genius. And he's created this automation for us that you create the clips. They then get thrown into this automation. It transcribes it. It creates captions in the color codes of the client. But you've got to then go, right, part of my procedures are, I now go into that, check, has it made any mistakes, correct it corrects on the captions, make sure that happens. It then does things like create social media posts based on what was discussed in it and the language used, the brand voice, all of that. Yeah. That comes through. You then know that I've got to be notified. That's ready for me to check.
Yeah.
There lies growth. We'll have more marketing people on board that will do that. But it spits through to that. You manage that it's been signed off technically, etc. Through it goes. We can create blogs and newsletters, all of those things. You know where you fit in with that. You have feedback on how those processes are going to link together. And I think that's been a big thing for you as well.
Yeah. Again, I think it somewhat comes down to that when you're doing it every day, you adapt, you get used to the workflow, and therefore you can sort of then adapt it and change it. But you're right, with the growth that we've had, we have obviously been able to implement new things or take on new kinds of projects, and the workflows have needed to be adapted for that.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's an interesting one, and we're at a point now, obviously, where we're hoping to sort of keep growing within the business as well. We're starting to try and get stuff out of both of our heads and get it actually down. But you're right, the feedback from doing all of that stuff, I know has been crucial. And you name dropped Liam there, but being able to sort of speak to him, to email him or pick up the phone to him and just, right, this hasn't quite gone to plan, or have I done something here, or is there any way of tweaking this for this purpose?
Yeah, because what's that phrase? You don't know what you don't know. And It's like, as we've been, I mean, we're probably the bane of his life, because we're going, oh, now that we're doing that, actually, Liam, what about this? And that's how it's evolved.
But, feedback wise, it's, I remember having that chat with you and being so dead set on going, no, I want the checks in there. I don't want it to let us sign it off until it's been able to be double checked.
Yeah.
So I understand that. I know that's another thing that I have to add to my steps of my job, but I strongly believe it's crucial. And sure enough, we've integrated that and it's worked instantly and straight out the gate. Yeah. And as you say, ultimately it won't be you having to do the other half of it. But for me, having that safety net and security, and especially thinking going forwards of growing us internally, I need to know from my end, if someone comes and joins my team and works alongside me, I need to know that safety net exists. Because whilst I would trust myself because I've been in it, they would still be having to get up to speed of our workings. They might be the most technically gifted people going. You still got to get up to speed within the business and what we do. So that's been vital. And just adjusting other little bits of workflows and, me getting slicker at doing certain products of ours.
Constantly trying to streamline and slicker and confidence growing, all of those kind of things. Ellie, of course, is our VA and project manager. She sits then above us really and keeps it all together. And has got the project management system in place that we use that makes sure we know. But even things like you take, for example, when we're doing work for clients, is that we use Frame.io. That enables us to send content out, upload it, and send this as a link to a client to view it, and they can press pause and put a comment, so it's timestamped to that bit, saying, actually, could you tweak this? Oh, could you add that? That would be good if we could do this there. And instead of doing an email that says, that bit around the 38 minutes where it did X, Y, and Z, and we're like going, I think that's where they mean. No, it's absolutely on point, until eventually they go signed off.
Yeah.
All of those things in place is what has made the difference in this. It's what enables us to have the pricing model for our one-off projects, or more often than not, our retainer projects with our clients. That means that this can be done. I mean, we both love that whole point. We can have a client come in, sit down for 30 to 60 minutes, whatever the length of the show happens to be, and that's the end of their work, and they suddenly get an audio podcast, YouTube long form content. We can do YouTube mid form, as we call it, off of that as well. We'd say 3 or 4 key chunks from that. Yep. The short form for the social media and YouTube shorts, that is what we need for social media, plus it pushes them to the long form content. We can provide SEO content on your website with the blog post, the newsletter for your LinkedIn or your email marketing. But all the client has done is sat down for 30 to 60 minutes, and then we collectively then are able to make the magic happen. And I have to say, it's not just editing to make it punch with sort of throwing B-roll over the top of it, but there's things like maybe colouring, audio.
There's the little tweaks that take it from being cool, we've set up some cameras and mics and hit record, to actually, okay, this is a produced show.
Correct.
And that's,
but without over editing. That's what I love, is it? We're keeping the authenticity.
You won't find on our stuff, you won't find all, super fancy effects here and there with gaudy transitions or giant inserts and things like this.
Or removal of mistakes. Invariably for the authenticity and the humour is that mistakes are kept in it as well.
I mean, it's important to say, obviously, if a client is on here and actually they say something and afterwards they go, "Oh, shouldn't have said that," then obviously we can do that. Likewise, if suddenly they turn around and go, "Actually, do you know what? I've sworn too much. Can you censor it out?" Then we can censor it. So, for example,
as long as it's an as live, because we are able to do this live.
Yeah, we can do everything live. Yes, please don't swear when it's live.
We can't
I don't want to be dealing with that. If you do that, I'll be unhappy. But yeah, so it's great. I've lost the train of thought now.
You threw us then completely. But it does. It enables us to provide something. I mean, even like you take this studio, is that, you know, this is all de-reverb back in it, but it's designed to be quite a cool looking sound. We've got off camera on the ceiling. We've got what I don't like, the corrugated foam, but it's there to provide sound deadening. It's not soundproofed in here because that's not necessary. It's the sound deadening, so it doesn't reverb around. We've got a big fluffy rug here. The material of the chairs are like this. Even things like this shelving unit with things on it, which, you know, clients can bring their own stuff. We're going to have more and more bits and pieces that will switch it around. But this breaks up sound waves.
Yep.
All of these things are designed to make it this crisp. It's not suddenly a microphone or two in the middle. We've got deliberately, wireless mics that our clients have got on, so that we've got the freedom of movement, and,
just this little box.
Top quality audio.
And obviously we just clip it on, but it can go there. It can go.
Exactly.
We've got a few different choices.
We've got the handheld for it as well, if we really
do.
want to.
You can look and find some of that, and I think on some of our NSBRC episodes, there's examples of that.
There is, because I mean, there's an example of where it expanded. We suddenly did live shows, not just as in live broadcasts, which we can do to the clients, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever, but as in an event. And we were wondering, we've got gimbals for people who don't know, that enables you to sort of like smoothly wander around and things like that. And we're able to do that kind of stuff. We partner at the moment, with a drone organization so that we can add drone B-roll or feature
I'm thrilled
sections.
Thrilled with that one.
Yeah.
That's really, really good. Yeah.
And for us, that was a logical thing, is to go, hang on, I'm good friends with someone that is proficient at that, really creative at that. Yes, I could go and invest and get that, and we could train ourselves, and we might do in the future, who knows, but it will be just because we want to suddenly add something while we're out there.
Yeah.
Whereas it's like, no, these guys are legends at it, work with us on these projects, and it can just sort of add all of it. But what we keep for the visual PR productions content is it keeps true to that PR principle of conversational, no scripts, no hard sell. It is engaging with the people.
Yeah, I think what I've always held dear to with it is it's about getting across the story from the images, the story of of what is in the
which
images.
Is always amazing, isn't it? The people, their experiences or their product, their service, the organization. I love that.
Even if it's a product or a service and there's nothing to say, we're still going to be able to take what we film and tell the story of your company or yourselves or your product with that. And I think that's the part, coming back to that link about where our views sort of meshed so well, is yes, there's the conversational side of it, which is so core and so near and dear to what the heart of this business is. But then I'm able to sort of come in and go, but we can also take a bit of this on. We can take a bit of that on, but it's still keeping with the principles of the company. We're not diverting away from that. We're not just becoming a, production house that, you can come in and make whatever you want with us. Now, don't get me wrong, you can come in and film your own podcast here and whatever, but we won't be part of it.
That's very recent, isn't it? That we've suddenly gone, hang on, we've got the studio, we've got the equipment, we've got the production and post-production expertise, and you have to keep reminding me at times and going, Chris, that's not visual PR content. No. Go out and I don't even need to be here, do I?
We're just the facilitators at that point.
Correct.
And whatever, if I'm involved in the post-production part of it, what you want in it, I'll put in it.
Yeah.
Because at that point, you're paying for me to perform the service of making that video.
Exactly.
It could be the worst idea in the world, but if you ask me to do it, I'll do it because you're paying, you're the client, so you get what you want.
But they still get to gain from our expertise, I've found.
Absolutely. I think that's important. It's, our clients are not necessarily video people.
They've got an idea, haven't they?
They're regular people who do their own jobs, have their own businesses, and they want to find a way to present that. And
the most popular, common thing is they go, we want to do a podcast.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, yes is the answer, but have you actually thought about this? So we talk about the video, we talk about the benefit of having the clips to help promote it, to bring it together, about the posting, about and all these other bits and pieces that suddenly goes, well, actually, let's expand this out.
Yeah. And I think that's an important thing that they get from us. It's almost that you can pay to come in and use the equipment or to use my services, but you're also getting along the side that my knowledge, your knowledge. It's not for our stuff, but you get that as sort of part of.
Well, some even suddenly turn around and do want me as a co-host, and it's fine. If not, I'm nothing to do with it. That's in your hands, and that's the beauty, is where it's enabled us with this investment that the risk I took in the investment of the studio, the design of all of this.
Well, yeah, I mean,
if
we're honest about it, the studio sort of came at a time where we've been hoping it would happen, but we didn't expect it to happen quite.
And I couldn't afford it at the time, in all honesty, but I made it.
An opportunity came the way, and you took the decision. You went, right, let's take the chance.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And I mean, it's easy to sit here now and go, it was the right choice, but
best thing I did, I'd say.
Huge. Yeah. I feel it's one of the moving to here. It's this year's version of adding me to the team last year.
Yes.
It's taking.
You're absolutely right.
What is the next step for how the business grows? Last year it was, you add me. What does that do? Well, it brings my knowledge to the table and my abilities.
Yeah.
Not only that, but it helped free you up a bit more. Because now when you're hosting, you're not having to sit there running the show.
Because I was doing doubling up, wasn't I?
Multitasking and doing that, which has freed up your ability as a host.
Yeah.
Which I think then has also helped make clients feel more comfortable still and grown with them and helped develop those business client relationships on your end.
Yeah.
So there was that whole element to it of me coming in and then being able to take on new and bigger and different kinds of projects at times and having the confidence in us to be able to go and deliver that.
Yeah.
Then we've moved here. We've been able to add to it. We've adapted it. We're able to produce shows that look better than anything we've made before in terms of
we're not standing still, are we?
No.
Like strive.
This was the next big step forward, and it's really exciting to figure out what the next few ones are going to be.
Exactly. And I mean, talk about the future is that, so many more projects, the conversations are going, they're so
we've got
varied.
Some really good ones coming up.
Absolutely.
I'll leave it at that, but we've got some really good ones coming
We do. And conversations that are only just starting, conversations that I've been told are going to have to start, is that it's so varied. It's brilliant. We're going to have to be growing the team some more again. I'm going to need more marketing clout within the office. We're going to have to then add to your team. And that is the part that will keep going up, I think. And I agree with your sentiment you said in the past, is that you want to not just add another you. No. We want to add someone that, yes, is another you in the team, but with some other skills that you might not have.
Yeah.
And that means that the company's expanded. I want to create a second studio space over that side of the room, as you know, that is going to be in my head, the tall table, the brick wall background, the bar stools around it. It gives another vibe again. And that is we are not standing still. We're continuing to grow. This was all created for our content, but it now just happens to be, well, it's there. Why can't we let people come and use it or use parts of it or whatever?
I think that came just from just a chat me and you were having one day, and we went, well, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Was that something? Well, okay. Well, that doesn't sound like a bad idea, actually.
Yeah, exactly. To the realms of no-brainer in the end, wasn't it? So that's expanded.
Also, I'm going to pull you back on one thing. A minute ago, you went, we don't just want another Tom. First of all, what's wrong with another Tom?
Well, don't start me on that one.
Secondly, there is no one else like me. There is no one else like me. You can't just get another Tom.
So true, so true. But incidentally, by the way, I've also remembered someone else I should also name check that has been brilliant during this growth and is there as a resource for us to use. Nick Ruddle.
Yeah.
I have to give a massive shout to Nick.
Huge respect for Nick. Getting to know him across my time here has been actually quite a highlight of it. The times we've worked with him, just being able to talk. I get to have the nerdy talk to him about what we do. And those sorts of things.
And he's so willing to share his knowledge, isn't he?
It's fantastic. And he's so personable and easy to get along with.
And he's an extra set of hands on some of our shoots.
And he's more than happy to, he can talk to me and give me advice when I need it. But he also will do what I've asked to happen in that moment of it. and he's had my back with you a couple of times when you've gone, Tom, are you sure about this? And he's gone, Chris, yeah, he's fine.
Yeah,
He's
sure,
fine.
leave him be. Yeah, I know.
So no, he's fantastic and great, and I hope we can get him involved in something again at some point soon, or at least, I mean, if he's up for it, it'd be lovely to have him on this show at some point and have a chat to him. But
there's an idea. Yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah, that would be great.
The bad news for you is that I would almost envisage that, including you.
I was about
to
say, if that's the case, that show I want to be on it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think there's something there because I just love the possibilities, the creativity of all of this sort of thing. I've learned there's so much more to both the production, the technology that's used in it, the post-production and editing, but the potentials are endless. And I just love seeing that.
Sky's the limit.
Absolutely. And that's why I just love all the projects that we work with people. And I love seeing the excitement when they suddenly go, okay, this is sounding interesting. A new way to market, a new way to get the PR messages out, all of that sort of thing. And of course, we collaborate with digital marketing companies that work for people. We just happen to provide the video content that they can use with PR companies, because it's like, look, this is going out every month from your client. Here is a transcription and maybe a blog draft 1 for you to be able to do something with. And they've got additional content instead of trying to bleed that out of a busy client. That we're doing all sorts of collaborations like that as well, which is really exciting. 2 last questions, because I'm conscious of the time has gone a lot longer than I intended for us to do. But
I get to watch it all back.
Exactly.
Don't worry.
You're welcome. 2 questions I've got for you then. First one, favorite project or projects / locations that we've worked on with visual PR content.
Ooh, I don't want to annoy anybody by not saying their ones, but favorite project, 10 Hides.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of what we did with that video, and because it's only sort of 3.5 minutes. It was a 45 minute interview that we did with Andrew.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you remember, I'd gone through it and I had typed out certain quotes and bits from it. And to make that video, Peek Behind the Curtain, I printed those quotes out, cut them up, and I arranged them on my desk.
I remember that. Yeah.
In a way of going, how can I stitch these quotes together to tell his story?
Messed that up once. I remember that.
So every day I'd be taking a photo of it.
That's right.
Just in case, or if I changed it. But yeah, being able to take his words there and match them with the visuals that we filmed to deliver that story of who they were, that's the part I love doing the most.
And you were hugely proud, as was I, because it's what I'd always set out with the vision of, is that we've won business off the back of that video with the comments going, oh my God, I watched that. And it wasn't that I was being sold another gin. No. It was that I wanted to buy from that distillery.
Yes.
And that's what I've always said. I want you to connect on a deeper level with the people in front of the camera.
Absolutely. It wasn't, I mean, okay, let's put it this way. Let's take Aviation Gin, the Ryan Reynolds one.
Yeah.
No one's going and buying that because of how that bottle looks or because, oh, that sounds like a cool gin. You're going and buying it because it's Ryan Reynolds gin.
And the adverts are hilarious and everything else,
you don't watch that 10 Hides advert going, oh, those gins look nice. Now, we did make the gins look nice in the shots. But no, you're going, do you know what? I enjoyed that.
I get
that seems like a company I would want to buy something from. So do you know what? When I'm next in the shop and I'm picking up my bottle of gin,
rum or whiskey.
Or rum or whiskey. Would the whiskey be finished? I don't know. The whiskey would be finished yet. It's got to be getting there.
Got to be close. And they've got I probably shouldn't say it this way, but I'm going to say it because it's the easiest way to describe it. A Pimm's derivative now that they've got as a mixture of their drinks.
Yeah, it's going and seeing it on a shelf or stumbling across the website or even just Googling it to check it out after you've seen that advert and going, do you know what? I'll try it.
Yeah.
And that I'm so proud of what we did with that and the story we told. And, you know, I think that links so much back with what I said of why I wanted to work in this industry and what I wanted to do. I wanted to tell stories.
Yeah.
I wanted to tell people's stories and put that out there using visual methods. So there's that one. I'm also incredibly proud of the 2 full live events at NSBRC.
I hope you would say that, because that's where I'm probably most proud of you on, because you manage those projects.
Yeah. So funny enough, the 3 things I've said are all 3 things that I've managed the way through.
True, yeah.
But for two different reasons, because we did both of those days in different ways.
We did, yeah.
The first day was live,
yes,
all day, with different segments in there. I say live all day. We went live for X time, stopped for an hour, went live again, and it was built that way. And there was the management of that and how that worked.
Which can I point out included 2 different things. One was panel shows, which is really cool, and we can do loads of those at events or whatever. But also roaming cameras as well, live.
Yeah, that was a new one for us at the time as well. That was another thing we've got. It was, can we do this? Yep, we can do it. So there was, so managing that. And then the second one where we've gone, right, okay, but that was great to increase the quality of how we can do some of these bits. We won't do it live, but we'll put them out as if they were live. So we'll still keep to the scheduling as we did the first one. So it's not all going out in the evening when the event's over. It's still there in the day.
To keep it relevant to this episode, it was still take 1.
Yes, it was. Yeah, 100%.
And that's the point we try to get out. It's that integrity of it being. It was that one take. Back to you. There's a memory card. Give me another one. Off we go. We're going again. And that was literally because we were at the mercy of internet connection that was being hammered by loads of guests at this event.
There. Yeah, it was. Oh, that was.
And so it was out of our control, wasn't it?
But yeah, so having to manage the whole day of live stuff, and then doing it the other way around of having to turn round those segments, for want of a better word, across the day in such a timely format, quick pace to be able to get it scheduled to be, I get the memory card through at, 11:45. This needs to be on YouTube at 1, which means I've got to have
the intro, the outro added, and
anything cleaned up, quick bit of colouring work done to it. Anything that doesn't, what's in there? Is there anything I need to remove from it quickly? Is there, right. Get that done. Now it's got to export. Now I've got to upload it. Now we've got to schedule it. Oh, okay. And then as soon as I've got that done, door opens. Here's the next one.
Here's another one. Yeah, it was.
So that was great. Favorite places quickly. I'd probably say, of the mezzanine at NSBRC is gorgeous.
Yeah, it is.
And that is just a beautiful, beautiful place to film. I enjoyed, again, at NSBRC, I mean, there's just so many places there, but that one sort of in that glass room with the green wall behind us.
Yes.
From, I believe that was their they were talking about being self-owned or employee owned.
Yeah.
So there's that one, and name drop a couple other ones quickly. I go the site in Cheltenham.
Yeah, that
on
was
an
cool,
Optimum episode. I thought it was a cool place. It was a cool way to try and sort of show different look to it for a visual. And then here, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. We've got to include that. That is a legitimate. I'm looking forward to we got coming up a shoot at Bowood.
Yes, that's going to be lovely.
Park. That's going to be nice as well.
Yeah, knowing where we're filming that as well, I'm really excited to get that.
Everywhere presents its new challenge, which is again part of the excitement as well. Okay, final question, and you might not even have an answer to this one, but I'm going to ask it just in case. Do you, if I said, right, what does the future hold for visual PR and our projects? Go wild. What can you potentially envisage happening, you doing and us doing?
I would like us to reach a point, and this is pie in the sky future.
Yep.
I would love to be able to have obviously expanded what we do, so you're able to concentrate on doing what you do best. Getting out, making those contacts, developing those conversations, and hosting the shows and bringing out that conversation in people.
Yeah.
I'd love there to be then people behind the scenes then to be able to work on our marketing, to be able to go and maybe take part in the mid parts of those conversations for new clients. So you can start it off, you'll come back in to sign it, seal it towards the end, but you can have someone in the meantime to sort of work on the nitty gritty parts here and there. Yeah. And then I would like us to be able to grow the video team to a point where we can have we've got our retainer business. That's our core thing.
Yeah.
We can have someone working on that. We've got someone who's doing clips, specified certain things. Everyone can cross collab and do different things. I want us to be able to reach a point where we've got a team together enough that core content is still regularly being produced at the right rate it needs to be to keep the business going. B, it's very much what we do. And C, make sure everything is delivered appropriately, effectively, and efficiently enough for the clients.
Yeah.
But I also want us then to be able to, because that stuff is looked after, get more of our features, our one-offs, are those sorts of things.
Yeah.
We'll be able to offer that to clients who are on those retainers with us, who then reach out and go, well, actually, what about this thing?
Yeah.
And I'd love then to be able to go and work on that and be able to develop that side of things a little bit.
That is increasing, isn't it, to be fair? So it's really enjoyable, all of that. I will also add, you know, and again, I'm going to be quick. Apologies that this show has been so long, but it shows there's so much that we had to talk about because it's not been forced, has it, at all?
I'm sure I'll be figuring out a way I can break this down into mid-form.
I think we're going to have to, aren't we? Yeah, absolutely.
If you want to watch the whole live episode, it's there
God
for
bless
you. You can go do it.
But one of my big ones for this is that I see that this whole operation that we are setting in place, the processes, the procedures, the content principles, all of that sort of thing, is a franchise possibility. Mm-hmm. And I tell you why I think that is that in my head, the franchisees are presenters like me. I'm very lucky. I get paid to commentate on motorsport, to host awards nights and various online streams and all this sort of stuff. If I had my way, I would be a TV presenter. I would adore that. That would have been where I'd have liked to have gone. But it's phenomenally difficult. It can be who you know, not what you know. There can be stroke of luck. You could be just not what they're looking for, but good at presenting. It's fine lines on it. So for me, the franchisees are presenters like me that go, I love doing this. I'm told I'm good at it. I want to do this all the time. Like you want to do the video all the time. That they kind of, I want to do something. Fine. We can build a business around you. We get a studio set up in, let's say, Manchester, Visual PR Productions, Manchester. Yeah. We can't have someone from Manchester coming down to this studio every month.
No.
So that can't work. But if we go and set a studio up in Manchester that is part of the franchise, then a presenter is doing that, getting the business in, doing the hosting. We have got the processes in place that then does all the post-production work. It's got the automations that we've now got created that's out there. Suddenly we've got Visual PR Manchester, London, Edinburgh, Belfast, whatever. And for me, that's where I think this can go, because I love that people get to express their personalities, their experiences, their beliefs, their knowledge, whatever it is, in a more relaxed, because everybody who appears on camera tells us that they're nervous as hell and then relaxed within 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Because that's what the nature of this does. Just chill. Let's relax. We're having a conversation. And people that, hopefully you agree, people that are watching, believe it because they could become part of that conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about bringing the viewers in. Yeah. For all intents and purposes, you're another person sat on that side of the table. You know,
could have wiped your feet, by the way.
You were saying the different franchises, and for whatever reason in my head, I could see it as like an advert, and just with a little disclaimer down the bottom with asterisk. You know how you get the toy adverts? Does batteries not included?
Yeah.
Just franchise opportunities. Tom not included.
Tom not included. No, exactly. There's only one.
Provide your own.
Yeah.
Tom sold separately.
Exactly. So I mean, there's in essence, there's so much more.
There's loads of
yet
room
to
for
come.
Growth
We're only 2 years old as a business, and most of that growth has happened. I was about to say in the last 12 months. We could probably narrow that down into the last 9 at most months, that most of that change has happened, to be fair.
Yeah.
And there's so much more to come.
Great.
Tom, you've been fundamental to that, and it's an absolute pleasure to have you on board. I hope everybody's enjoyed finding out a bit more about my right-hand man. He keeps all of the technical side going, and it just creates wonderful, wonderful content. Any questions at all, please do get in touch. We'll be delighted to answer. If you want to chat about it in more detail, again, get in touch. You can come in and see the studio, and we can discuss what possibilities could work for you. Keep your eyes out. Take One with Visual PR Productions is going to be a regular series now, where we're going to get a variety of guests on for a whole different raft of environments in reality, that hopefully is going to be, insightful. It's going to be entertaining, educational, maybe motivational. Who knows? There's going to be a big mix. So keep your eyes open to the next episode of Take One. But for now, from Tom Cottam, myself, Chris Dawes, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Bye. I'll go get back behind my desk.
Could we stay
Oh, no,
long?
hang on, I got a smile. I made a quip.
He just can't stop himself, look. And I was just sat there smiling. We're going to stay smiling.